Hi everybody, I'm Jack. This is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Today I just wanted to talk about some more raw vegan mistakes to avoid. I did a video, Raw Vegan Mistakes to Avoid, a few months ago, and it seemed to be quite popular and got questions and got comments, so I thought I would just go a little further with it and see if I could explore some other mistakes. I'll have a link to that video at the end cards on the end of this video and in the description below. Just came back from town a little while ago, so I'm catching up a little bit. Just had to run down and do an errand, so since I was downtown, I thought I would just get a few more mangoes to tide me over until the market on Saturday. Got 7 really nice mangoes. Or 6, 2 more there, just perfect. The mangoes are just off the hook right now. Got a friend coming down in about 1 week from today, vegan coming down, and we're gonna hang out for like 9 days, and that's gonna be a lot of fun. Anyhow, what are these mistakes that we're talking about, or some more of the mistakes we're talking about? Well, like I said, and I'm sure I mentioned this in the other video, and I've kind of watched that video, so I just wouldn't repeat, do a repeat of the video. But one thing I'm sure I mentioned, and I'm always mentioning, is eating enough. That's one of the biggest mistakes right there. That one's not new, but eating enough. And then it kind of related to that is miscounting calories or miscalculating your calories, or not really just being aware of how much calories are in things. I think a lot of times when people are saying, I eat this many calories a day or that many calories a day, they're kind of guesstimating like I do, but they may not have that much of a base to go on. And I think a lot of times people just simply, and that's why I'm saying, even though, full disclosure, I didn't use it, chronometer, however you say that. I hear people say that stuff all the time. Chronometer, whatever. You can plug your food in there and it will give you it especially until you kind of learn, like, okay, bananas have roughly this, mangoes have roughly this, avocados have this. It might help you being a little bit more accurate in how much you're eating throughout the day. Another one is doing your research with an open mind. And I talk about this all the time, kind of the labels, the group mentality, like people find, a person they relate to or really like a lot, or a group or a thought pattern or a way of doing this lifestyle, and they just latch on to that, and they don't really want to hear anything else that might conflict with that with an open mind. You can't just reject information just because it doesn't agree with your current thought pattern. I hate that worse than anything. And like I say, I don't have I drank a lot and did a lot to my brain to where I've wiped out a lot of stuff up there. But I think that is one of my true measures of intelligence, is that I'm fanatic about having an open mind, and I'm fanatic about not taking dogma, taking information of any sort and just blindly clinging to it. Get out there and verify stuff, man. We're on this is 2017. In 2017, if you're serious about this, you might even want to put a little time into how to do searches, how to search for your information, and learn how to go through this information. And a lot of it, you don't have to be a scientist. You don't have to be terribly experienced in this lifestyle. Most of the stuff from day one, I could go through and pick out, this is bullshit. This is just people blathering some semi-made up words with some woo-woo mixed in there. And, And even the science, like a lot of people can come with a lot of big scientific terms, but there's just something, there's an intuition, a filter in me that's like, nah, that just doesn't make sense. And then there's others that I'm sure the information's above my head, but I can tell it makes sense. So do your research with an open mind. Very, very important. Don't just get caught on to something because you like people in this group, or you like the people that are doing fully raw fruitarian, or you like the people that are doing raw till 4. This is your health. This isn't some little clique in high school you want to be in. Lack of preparation, especially for newbies, especially if you're struggling. Lack of preparation is a killer. You know, if you leave the house during the day, which most people probably do, you got to have food with you, or at least you got to know where you can get your hands on good, healthy choices during the day. It can be as simple as packing fruit and taking with you, packing bananas, packing a salad and taking with you to, you know, to work. If you're going to other people's houses or whatever, it can be as easy as just taking a salad dressing with you. But keeping some dates, always having fruit in your car, always having like some emergency type food around, just in case, you know, you just got to get some calories. It's not really a meal that you've planned, but preparation. Always be prepared for every situation. That's going to save your butt many a time. Another one is relying on willpower. Willpower is somewhat of a myth. There's people that have it, but I've never really liked to rely on willpower for too much in life. I'd rather, like, especially when it comes to the eating, I'd rather just work it. You know, not work it, but I'd rather just, you know, keep myself full and not have to think about, okay, if I get hungry, I can do it. I mean, I've kind of gotten to a point where if I get hungry, I can just say, all right, well, I'm not going to be able to eat for 4 hours, so I can just do without. But most people, it's like a ticking time bomb, and it just gets, or just something that gets a little bit bigger too. It just gets into your head, and it's just like, okay, you're trying to stave it off, and then eventually you just cave in. So don't rely on your willpower, and that kind of goes back to preparation. That willpower is not going to bail you out most of the times if you're a beginner on this lifestyle. If you you know, if you haven't prepared and you don't have food with you. Impatience. Everybody, you know, we live in a now, instant gratification society. The chances are that a lot of people that are seeing this video that are interested in this lifestyle, you know, people have had 2 decades of eating the way they do, 2 decades of the lifestyle they have, you know, the unhealthy lifestyle they've might be currently living. You're not going to change that overnight. You're not going to totally, you know, just go, you're not going to just drop all the weight immediately. You're not going to heal everything that you maybe need healing or want to be healed as far as, you know, health conditions or just how you feel and energy. It's going to take some time. It's going to take some time to get some of that gook out of your body that you spent 20, 30, 40 years accumulating. And the thing is people get impatient and they jump from one thing to another. You know, they get impatient. They might be onto something that is right for them. They just didn't give it enough time, you know, and they didn't give it enough time to figure out how to do it. Like, you know, going raw vegan. Some people stop and then they want to slam being fully raw vegan because they didn't do it in a certain way. Now, that's not saying that I'm not trying to push anybody to be fully raw vegan. Always just showing you steps how to get closer to being fully raw as you want. You can, you know, how raw you want to be is up to you. And then the last thing I'll talk about real quickly is ego. People that, and I've experienced this in other areas of my life sometimes, being stubborn about, I need to take a couple of steps back, or I need to see myself as a beginner, but I'm a little too good for that. And I like, oh no, well, I can jump ahead because I've read about this, or I have some sort of experience in this. Sometimes when I need to just step back and find out where my level is and whatever I'm doing. And so many people, like I say, they want to be that person. They all almost say it stubbornly, like, well, I went cold turkey. I'm fully raw. I went from this to fully raw, cold turkey. But they fail. So they let the ego get in the way. If you can succeed on anything you're doing, I'm not talking to you, but if you're constantly trying to run with the big dogs per se, like a lot of times it is that high school mentality and being in cliques. You get in groups and you see the ones that are telling you all this stuff about how pristine and how clean and how next level they're eating, and you want to be part of that group. But you're not ready to be part of that group yet, and trying to be part of that group is kind of sabotaging your success on this lifestyle. So don't be too proud. Be prepared to go through all the stages. Like I said in the video yesterday, this is a marathon, not a sprint. So it's all about where are you going to be 5 years from now? Realistically, you know, sometimes you have to just kind of go look in the mirror and say, where is this something that I'm just kind of, do you really see what you're doing being sustainable? Do you see yourself thriving on this 5 years from now? Or are you just kind of like hanging on, doing the next diet, doing the next thing or whatever? So, you know, transition yourself, learn as you go. Don't go any faster than you feel like you should. And you're more than likely going to get there a lot quicker than you thought you would. Anyhow, like I say, just a few more mistakes I think you might keep an eye out for that trip people up. You know, when I go back and do another video on the subject that I've done a video on, like I say, I try to get in there and throw in some new points. So hopefully I threw in some helpful stuff today that might save you some time. And well, if you like this one, please give me a thumbs up. Hope you'll hit that subscribe button, click on the bell, and check send notifications to stay subscribed. And hope you're ready for the weekend. Only one more day. See you guys. Peace.